question is finally getting recognized as an all-pro after it took so long for the league to kind of catch on to what you were doing. What did that honor mean to you last week?
Well, the jersey was Tim Brown, so that was a Tim Brown jersey, a little bit of a throwback iron on. So the bottom of the one was actually like halfway faded off, so it would have been hard to see even if you saw the whole jersey. Um, but it feels good, man. It feels good to be recognized. My whole life has always been a really basically me just doing what I do on the court, on the football field, or whatever it is. And then I never really got crazy recognition my whole life because didn't start playing football till my junior year in high school. Then I got to Fresno and obviously put up some good numbers there, but based off the me being at Fresno and not at Alabama, that kind of got overlooked too. Wasn't a wasn't a finalist for the Bolitnikov. So been experiencing it my whole life really, so it's not really a huge deal to me, but it's a pretty big deal to be able to actually get the recognition now. It's awesome to be able to be mentioned with some of the best.
Matt Schneidman.
Davante, when it comes to just the mutual respect you have for certain corners around the league, how do you view Jalen and what he's done in his time in the league?
I mean, I respect Jalen's game. He's at the top of that list for sure. I think he's probably like three or four super elite is what I like to call him, corners, and he's definitely one of those guys. He's been playing at a high level, got great confidence, does a lot of barking, which feeds into his confidence more. And he's made a lot of plays, and he's definitely earned that, and he's a good player.
Ryan Wood.
Hey Davante, I've also got a two-parter, but I won't stack them up on you. So first, we've talked a lot about your route running. I'm just curious, especially when you started to really dig into the particulars, the details of route running. Were there some routes that were easier for you, more natural for you to learn and to perfect than others?
Yeah, I'll say starts with the shorter routes, quick game, and then you get into intermediate routes, and those are the easier ones because with less speed, with you being not as far down the field, obviously it's just physics. It's going to be much easier to stop and be more crisp when you're doing that. But once you start getting into running deeper routes, 16, 18-yard in cuts, out cuts, stuff like that, where you have to really be precise and super consistent with your footwork in order to not slip and to get out of your breaks good. Those are the type of routes where I feel like it takes a little bit longer to get comfortable and then run it consistently, because that's where being a good route runner is not just getting highlights every now and then. It's being, reliable every single time, whether it's getting open or, if you're running something where a guy's far off and, you're running a 15, 18-yard outbreaker, is being able to do it perfect, or not perfect, but in essence perfectly each time, to where your quarterback can throw the ball and, the timing will equal, a great result. And that's where a lot of work that I've put in, and then obviously me and my quarterback as well, put in work as far as the timing of that to be on the same page. But the shorter routes, definitely I've found that they've come to, quick guys that, I get my feet out of my framework a lot. Those are ones that have come a little bit more natural.
And then secondly, Nathaniel Hackett was talking last week about what he sees as something that makes you so elite. And he said your flexibility and your versatility on the field, the fact that you line up anywhere. What do you think that does for you and your game? And how difficult is it to learn literally every spot on the field?
It's not that tough. I think if you're a smart guy and, you work on your game enough to where you can run all the routes, it sounds simple. It's not easy, but it's a pretty simple concept. And I forgot what was the other thing you said.
Just what do you think that does for your game? The fact that you're not just a wide right or wide left, you line up everywhere in all kinds of different formations.
Well, it puts you in a good position where certain people where we'll see how they play this game, but Jalen has been he's traveled, but he doesn't go in the slot all the time. So as much as we like, me, I like to go against anybody and have just good on good as much as possible. But if you would make it easier and give me a matchup on a linebacker or a safety who's not as used to covering a guy like me, then we'll take that favorable matchup too. Whereas certain guys that can, they're great outside receivers or great inside, but they can't be moved around to take advantage of some favorable matchups. So I probably said that that's the best advantage of it.
Stacey Dales.
Hey, Davante, congrats on the All-Pro. Well-deserved years ago, in my opinion, of course, outside of home field advantage, what do you believe is going to set this team apart as you guys get ready for this playoff journey this year? And I have a very quick follow-up. I know there's others on here.
Yeah, well, I think that it's putting us in a good spot because we're used to, where we are. We've been in this position multiple times. Even before Matt got here, we have a lot of same guys that have been in some NFC Championship games before, played in some playoff games, and played in some playoff games in Lambeau too. So when you get all those added up together, it's a recipe for a pretty good product.
Very quickly, what is one thing Aaron Rodgers does that none of us ever see? Maybe, something that just absolutely sets him apart, off screen, if you will.
As far as something he says?
Just something he does, one thing he does behind the scenes that none of us could possibly see or understand that is just unique.
That's a tough one on the spot, but something that I know that he does, I don't know if it would be a shock to you guys or not, but I'll just say the way that when you start getting into some of these games, the way he can simplify for you. I think a lot of these guys know what we got in front of us. They know the team that's in front of us, and they know how to prepare for games. But when you have a guy like him who he's under a lot of pressure, whether it's literally in the game or if it's just the way that him being an MVP candidate every single season, that type of pressure can be tough on you, and you think that it'd be a stressful thing. But the way he simplifies and just reminds people that you're here for a reason, and it sounds cliche when I say it, but the way he conveys that message, whether it's in the huddle before the game or throughout the week or whatever, just kind of bringing people down and just reminding them that they've been doing it their whole life. And I've literally seen it's been visible where you can kind of see a weight come off of a guy's shoulder in the huddle just from hearing that from Aaron, and you can see it in his face. It's just genuine confidence and not relaxation, but just comfortability. I've been here, and just follow my lead, and the way he communicates with us, letting us know sometimes if he does get nervous in the locker room before a game, he'll look over and look at me and start to pull some of my confidence, or look over at Mercedes and say, I got big dog out there. I'm gonna pull some of his confidence right now. See God, dancing with his headphones on, just getting in his zone, getting in his vibe for the game. And like I said, just making it simple, reminding people that, we've been doing it for a long time at a really high level, and just to lean on the rest of your teammates. So it's a great tool, and it's been working for us, obviously.
Steve McGargy.
Thank you for doing this. I'm just wondering, obviously a playoff game, there's going to be plenty of incentive anyway, but when you're going up against one of these guys you define as a super elite cornerback, how much does it do for your preparation going into that game, or maybe your motivation going into that game when you're matching up against a fellow all-pro or top guy?
I mean, you may watch a little bit more tape and just a few extra things based off what type of guy. And I mean, there's, just to keep it real, there's certain times where, y'all may ask me about a guy, or for me, I keep it real myself. Obviously, I get on here, I got to show certain people respect, and I never disrespect anybody because it's the NFL. But, I prepare the same way each week, and, regardless who it is, obviously with Jalen or somebody else that has earned that respect. And like you just said, the top tier corners, you're obviously going to put a little bit more into it. But I mean, I like to dictate what goes on out there. So I'm not really going to get too caught up in the film and start thinking too much and all of that. I just go play my game. But, it does help to get into a little bit of extra film just to make sure you're ready for whatever they can bring if they got a few extra tools in their bag.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Davante, how good was last week just to get, off your feet? And were you hurting at all? Did you kind of need that rest?
I mean, it was just good just to have that time off. Typically we wouldn't even have practice if we didn't have to be here. So, I just kind of want to stay with my normal schedule. I wasn't Wasn't banged up at all. Didn't have anything crazy going on. Just wanted to make sure I gave myself the right rest, treatment, and just relaxation while still getting my cardio and everything I needed. But yeah, I feel as good as I've felt all season right now.
Aaron Nagler.
Davante, your quarterback claims he doesn't watch the games. Did you watch the games this weekend? Did you want to see who you guys were going to face?
I don't hear
or did
anything.
you?
I don't know if he's talking or not.
Oh. All right, Aaron, we'll swing back. Hold on a second. Jason Wilde.
Hey, Davante, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Following up on Steve's question a little bit, we've heard you talk a lot of times about how you don't worry about who you're going up against, and you've been very respectful of Jalen Ramsey here, calling him super elite. I'm wondering where your philosophy comes from on taking that approach, because you've taken that approach to everybody you faced. And I also was wondering what's your philosophy on dealing with guys that talk a lot of trash.
Well, I mean, my approach on that is just basically you mean as far as like me not worrying about who I'm playing, right?
Yes.
It's just basically rooted in my confidence and in the way that I play. There's certain guys who dictate, they change the way that they play based off of who they're playing, and that may still translate to success for them. But the way that I play is, like I said, I'm in the driver's seat. So you're gonna have to do a lot as far as, I mean, the best way, ideally to stop a person who's in the driver's seat is to get a jam on them and, slow up their timing and stuff like that. But it just so happens that that's literally my strongest tool in my bag, is being able to get off the line and not getting my timing disrupted. So I just bank on, me playing faster and being a little bit more technical than whoever it is that I'm playing. And that's basically where that's rooted. And with Jalen, I don't know how much talking is going to happen. I honestly, I don't see a whole lot of talking. I see it can be, it'll probably get a little chippy, every now and then, but I got respect for him. I'm sure based off our conversations we've had before, he's got respect for me. So, it won't be no disrespectful stuff going on out there, but it'll definitely probably get heated a few times, I'm sure.
Adam Kilgore.
Hey, Davante, thanks for doing this. You and Aaron are both.
Nothing.
Can you hear me?
He can't hear you. Hold on, we'll swing back to you too. Dave Schrader.
Hi, Davante. If I'm not mistaken, your only matchup with Jalen was also the first game of his pro career back in the 16 opener, I believe.
Can't hear
What
you.
did you?
Not right. We had like 5 reps in the Pro Bowl, so that was the other one. And we know how competitive the Pro Bowl is, so it was a lot like that. We actually honestly got together more in the Pro Bowl than probably what we did in that 2016 game. That was the first game of his career. So he was in the slot more. I think he was on Cobby, and I had House and Prince and Mukamura on me most of that game. So we didn't really cross each other's paths too much.
All right, Aaron Nagler, we'll try you again. Aaron.
Davante, you got me?
Yep, got you.
Did you watch the games over Super Wildcard Weekend? I saw your Insta. You had a couple nice pictures of your daughter. I was wondering if you got caught up watching Frozen or if you were able to get some game in.
Well, we got. I'm blessed to have a nice little TV set up in the playroom right on the right side. So we had Frozen cracking, Frozen 2, Moana, Coco. That's all of that stuff was going, right. And then we got some football going on the main TV. So I was able to catch that.
Were you anxious to find out who you were going to play?
Yes, I hated that we couldn't figure it out after the first day. It was killing me. Me and Sadie were talking about it. It was eating me up, but it is what it is. I kind of realized pretty early in that game that it was going to end up that way, and I knew they could easily shock, because the Rams are one of those teams where they lost to the Niners twice, but you can't really look at that. You got to just basically go off. They kind of remind me of the Vikings when we played the Vikings early in the year. They were won one game or 2 games at that point, and then came and beat us. So when you got to just look at the personnel and not the record for certain teams. So I kind of figured that may be a possibility we could end up playing them.
Adam Kilgore, we'll try you again.
I don't even know if I stole, you may have had more there. I think I just started talking. I don't even know if.
No, you're good. You're good. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Cool.
Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Davante, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Great. Thanks for doing this. You and Aaron are both obviously great players on your own right, but it also seems like there's something that allows you to make each other better as well. If that's a fair assessment, what is that something, and how would you think it's evolved since you got to Green Bay?
Well, it's evolved like crazy over the years. Just with us being closer, I think the comfortability, the standard that, my rookie year, I'm sure he wouldn't have even made certain changes to routes or asked me my mindset on certain things. So just with the years, we both continue to elevate our game as we get older. And I just think we can connect a lot better just from being so tight on the field like that. It's made us closer as friends as well. So, sometimes it happens the other way around, but I mean, the NFL is a weird deal. I mean, he's like 10 years older than me almost. So you would think that it would be honestly tougher to connect with a person like that. But especially when you've been balling and, he's ahead of really what he is. I think he's 36 or 37. I don't want to make him an old man, but him having that big of a gap in age you would have thought it'd be tough.